Hello everyone, welcome back to David at Goat Hobbies. Right, on Friday I had a bit of a problem with my truck. What do I mean? Right, I'm going down the road, yeah, and when you sometimes pick a nail up in the tyre, you can hear it going tick, 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 tick as the metal strikes the road as the tyre goes round. And that's what I thought I got in a tyre. So I thought, I can't stop where I am because it's a bit of a windy old road and it's a country road. And I'd cause more of an obstruction and then there'd be a risk to other drivers. So I thought I'll get to a point. I was going past the yard. I thought I could just pull over before the yard because it's a safe place to park and have a quick look at the tyres. Thinking I got either a stone in it or a nail or something in the tyre. So I lifted the rear axle up and raised the suspension rather, and I thought the tag axle was already up, mid-lift axle was already up, and I thought, can't see anything. I thought it was a nail in the tyre, that's what I thought originally. So I'm looking around and I thought, well, what is it? So I thought, I'm going to get it checked out. I'm only sort of 500 yards from the yard. So I thought, excuse me, that was catching me up. I thought to myself, I'll pop in there and see them getting checked out. So I called in, went and saw him in the office, I told him what the situation was. He says, yeah, go and see him in the garage. So I went and saw him in the garage, and he's had a look round, and he's seen that the markers on the wheel nuts are out of alignment. He said, the wheel nuts are loose. I thought, what? I've never had that before. So he said, yeah, come and look. He said, show me. There was about, I don't know, half a dozen were sort of not aligned. I thought, oh dear, that's bad. That's frightening me. Not literally, but it's sort of frightening. Try not to yawn. And I thought, oh dear. He said, we'll have a look at it and see. Hopefully, it's not done any damage. So they put the jack under it, lifted the axle up, and took the wheel off, or both drive axle tyres on the near side. And he said, do you know what? We're so lucky that you just caught it in time. I said, wow. And one of the managing directors come over to me and said, well done. You've done well to spot that. And I thought, well, I was only doing my job. But excuse me. He said, that's the difference between a person like yourself that's got the experience, right, and a young driver. A young driver just tear her ass around, get the job done, and not think about getting it checked out. So I'm not trying to blow smoke out my arse. That's not the point. All I'm trying to say is it's about keeping people safe. Excuse me. Keeping people safe and keeping yourself safe and preventing an accident. So I've done the right thing. Got found out what the problem was. They retorqued the nuts up. Obviously checked it first. Put the wheel back on. Tightened it all up, and off I went. Yeah, but I got a big thank you from one of the managing directors, one of the owners of the company. Actually, both owners come over to me and said, well done for what you did. It was well spotted. Well, I was only doing my job. Excuse me. Tail's getting tired. I'm getting tired. And so I just did my job. He said, yeah, but this is why young drivers, all they want to do is rush around. So by you doing what you did, you could have saved the company a lot of money. I said, thank you. And I appreciate what they said, and it was very kind of them. So that's what happens when you work for a professional transport company. That when something's right, they praise you for it. And don't get me wrong, if I do something wrong, I expect a bollocking. And that's being said is what it is. But, my attitude is I try and do my best and the best ability I can do. and that's my emphasis. And it's like, excuse me, it's working with customers and clients. You know, you do your best for them, trying to help them out and stuff like that. One of them said to me the other day, can you just pull forward when you move there? I said, yeah, no problems at all. I think they was expecting me to say no, but I'm not like that. You work with your customers, look after your customers, and do you know what? Last week, one of the customers gave me £10 drink. I thought, wow, that's nice. And I said, thank you very much. And I said to him, do you know what? That was really old school. I really much appreciate it. He said, welcome, son, you're welcome. So, there we go. I always treat customers how I want to be spoken to myself. You treat people how you want to be treated. Alright? And that goes a long way. And hopefully these tips what I've told you will help you have a better way of dealing with things. And if your vehicle develops a fault, stop in a safe place, check it out and find out what's wrong. If you're not happy, phone them up. At the end of the day, it boils down to safety first. And that's the difference between a good company and a bad company. So hopefully, what I told you, check your wheel nuts. Yeah, I'd already checked my wheel nuts and it's surprising how quickly they can loosen off. Well, the roads we go over nowadays, I'm not really surprised because they are full of potholes and some of the subsidence and everything with the roads. They're in a really poor condition. So anyway, enough rabbiting. So leave a comment down below. Please like, share and subscribe. And thank you very much indeed for watching. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care everyone. Bye for now.